Okay, welcome back. So this is day 3 of the rehab. So we didn't get a whole lot done today. We had to run and get some things, but we got the stud walls built out on that wall there, and it's all leveled and anchored and balanced, not balanced, but 90-degree angle. It's all level. We got this wall here all leveled out, and then we got all the plastic on there and stapled. This one's not completely stapled yet because we have to add. So there's an electrical box there. We actually need an electrical box there, and there, and there, and there, and one here. So we're going to have to run conduit from downstairs where that current one is, run a new set of conduit up and over into the box. We'll probably have to put these on separate circuits, so that'll be a little more fun and interesting. We may have to run 2 stubs up, depending on how big of a conduit we run. But I got an electrician coming down, and he's gonna do the permitting and everything else like that for us and get that taken care of. And of course I'll be helping him so that we can kind of bring the cost down a little bit, save on some of that labor hours, and make sure it's done right, done to code, and you can sign off on it and everybody be happy, and then we can box this up. But we basically need a 4-gang or a 4-outlet box for each of our hydroponic units that we're putting in here, for the microgreens and the the microgreens, the petite greens, and the baby greens. And then whatever else we want to do. So I have a feeling we're going to need 5 separate circuits because they pull about 9 amps when everything's running, all the lights, the pump, and everything else like that, and the fans. So, and I think our electrician said that the city doesn't like to have more than 60% load on a circuit when you put them in. So if it's 9 amps and you run a 15 amp circuit, well, that's pretty much what, maybe a little bit more. I'm sure you could probably juice in there, but they don't want it maxed out at 15 amps or a 15 amp circuit. So we're probably going to have 5 circuits put into the circuit breaker downstairs, and then run new conduit all the way to here, and put in our electrical boxes. Then we can go ahead, staple that plastic down, and get the drywall up, which is right there. That's one sheet of it. It's not on yet, but we need to put 2 outlets over here as well, both on the separate circuit, because this one will be servicing, what do you call it? A beverage cooler to have some of our microgreens available for takeouts, or some of the lettuce or anything else that we're growing in here. And then we need another 4 outlet box for another mini 5-foot rack over there. And then we're thinking about doing some cool stuff up here in front of the windows with some hydro, and we'll need another 4 outlet box there. And that should be it. Any of the lights for in front of here will actually power off the ceiling where we had the old ceiling fans at that we took down. So it doesn't look like we got very far, but we got a lot of plans. There's a lot of off the cuff planning, kind of thinking things through, where we're going to have things, how much power we're going to use. All that's got, and the plumbing too, but we're not plumbing any of this side yet. So we got to figure all that stuff out first before we actually close up these walls. Because once we get the drywall on, we're actually going to do this cellulose blown-in insulation into the wall cavities. One, because those brick walls are actually the original walls of the building, and when you, like right now it's like 16 degrees out, and touch one of these walls, it's ice cold. I mean, it sucks the heat right out of your hand. It's cold. So we don't want to have like a huge utility bill, so the best we can do is insulate these walls with that cellulose blown-in insulation. So we'll actually, once the drywall's in, we'll put a hole in there, and then the hose goes in the top, and then it blows insulation down here, and it fills the cavity from the bottom up. And so it's a nice, you know, solid insulative cavity, basically. I want to say it's like R23 or something like that, if you blow in the cellulose rather than like an R13 with a 2x4 wall. So, and then you just patch the hole, mud and tape, and then we can paint both these walls. Once they're all insulated and drywalled and electrical's all signed off on, and then we move back here. So Korrin had to take some wainscoting off here today because, well, it needed to come off anyway. It looked like that stuff back there needed to come off. We're going to cut out that chunk of drywall and scab a new piece in. And then there was some broken tile, or some wainscot here. Well, whoever did the tile work on here did not use mortar. They used liquid nails, and they liquid nailed the tiles to the drywall, which I don't know about you, but I've never seen that done before. And if you ever need to take the tiles off, it's a complete disaster because it does not release from the drywall when there's liquid nails on it, and so you end up trying to pull the tile off. It pulls the drywall off too. So now we got to cut the tiles out all the way back to here, where you can kind of see that she scored that line in the previous video, and cut across here. We'll have to scab in a piece of dry. Well, put some blocking behind there first of all, because the stud is not too far behind here. Put some blocking in, then we'll scab in more drywall, and then retile it. We've got a bunch of tile from I can't remember the place, but it's in Dubuque here. I just got drywall dust all over my face, I'm sure. But anyway, it's like an overstock store here in town, out on Kerper Boulevard. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, if you ever need like overstock stuff, looking for a good deal on onesie twosie things, it's really cool place to go. So we got like I can't remember how many tiles we got, but we got to take these tiles out of here too. And I have a feeling we're going to have to scab in a piece of drywall there. And then over here, these tiles got to come off because we're going to have a slot or a mop sink right here. And so we need a faucet for it. And so that plumbing actually has to go in the wall. It cannot be out of the wall. We'll have a commercial dishwasher here. It's a single rack dishwasher. It's a low temperature dishwasher, so you run a sanitizer instead of the super high 180 degree water on your final rinse cycle. And then we'll have a triple hole sink. Now they had water coming up through the floor. I got to replace this floor. Well, all this floor we're replacing, and even in the prep space back here. So, and we just got the tile for that as well for the floor, so we can pull that up, put new flooring in, fill those holes, and run the new plumbing up. The sink, the triple hole sink that we got is actually, the plumbing actually doesn't come from the wall, it comes from underneath the sink, so it's going to have to be run through the floor. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I guess we could come out of the wall, and then it's got to go up that way too into the sink. But just the way the sink is, the plumbing can't be entirely buried in the wall. It's got to come out of the wall and then up and into the sink. So, so yeah, mop sink, dishwasher, triple hole sink, and then we got a stainless steel prep table that is a 4x8. I'm sorry, 2 by 8 foot stainless steel prep table. We got a heck of a deal from a lady down in the, or up in Madison actually. It came out of a doctor's office. So, but that's going to go right here, and then we'll have a hand washing sink. You know, because food service, you got to have. Even though we're not serving food, it's still considered a food service business if we start processing here. And even when we're working with the growing greens, we want to make sure our hands are clean and everything's nice and tidy and sanitary. So we'll put the hand washing sink right here. So we got to, again, work some plumbing out there. And then we start getting into this back area, which we haven't dug into yet, but we found some paint that's specifically formulated to bond to this FRP board. And so we'll apply probably 2 coats of that paint to the FRP. FRP is that fiberglass reinforced plastic. It's kind of like that beadboard looking stuff that you see in commercial kitchens. Well, that's what that is. And this paint's specifically made to bond to that and provide a washable, food-safe surface in a kitchen. So that's how we're going to address that. We're going to address all the ceiling panels, get those either replaced or cleaned up, and you know, the light panels, all that good stuff. And so it'll look like a brand new kitchen back here. We got all new mop base for not only this room here, but through here and around, and then back through here. We got a couple huge rolls of that. We've got to get 2 new doors. Like that door's gonna have to be replaced. That door definitely has to be replaced. We got to get some FRP to, I don't know what was there, and neither does the new landlord. I don't know what they had over here, but we got to take that piece of FRP off at the bottom and put a whole new piece in there. We got to put we got to patch some drywall in there, and then take that piece of FRP down and put a whole new piece of FRP up. And then this subfloor back here, I actually have to cut out with a circular saw, cut that whole floor and subfloor out down to the joist because it's kind of rotten. You can feel it. It's kind of spongy under when you step on it. So we'll have to lay in all new subfloor, probably 2 layers of subfloor to build it back up, and then the tile that we're doing over all this new tile that we're doing all over the floor. And that'll pretty much get everything done and ready. And we got to take that wainscot off too. And like this here's all got to be fixed. This has got to be taken off. And I don't know if Picker Barrel wants their sign back, but if not, I think we'll just keep it as a souvenir. Anyway, I don't know why. So, then paint the walls. And actually, what we're going to do, I believe, we're going to, we're kind of waiting on approval of it right now. We'll see. But instead of scraping the loose paint over here on the ceiling and then repainting it, we're actually considering dry ice blasting it. And that would make the whole ceiling like a tin copper, return it back to its original look. It'd be clean. Nothing can fall down on the plants that way. And it would be a kind of a cool feature for this space. So other than that, it sounds like Mrs. Schreiber walked in somewhere. There she is. Oh, no. How's it going? So that's the guy picking up the ceiling fans. All right, well, I'm going to cut this short, and we'll talk to you soon.